Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Emmatics video session 146. So basically in today's video, we will actually discuss about, the time bar as well as the calendar heat map. So we will cover both of these charts at one go. We'll understand what are the formatting options available for time bar as well as the calendar heat map. Okay. So very quickly, I will go to my Attic Studio. And of course, we will deal with the same data set. That's fine. And let me very quickly choose over here the time bar. Okay. Now, as you can see here, and what I will do is I will simultaneously open my notepad as well. First of all, I will copy this whole stuff, okay? And we will just read it out very quickly. So basically, this is all about the time bar. We need at least one field for time axis, one field for y axis, okay? That's the thing which we definitely require. So what I will do is like here, I already have the count of rows and the time axis I can go for close date, year, month, okay? Now, as you can see here, this is how it looks like, okay, the time bar, and we will very quickly go to our formatting option. So here, of course, I can name it as time bar, which is fine. We won't go through much of this now. And very quickly, if I come over here, as you can see here, it shows you the compact value. If you go for none here, I think it doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, show value and specify how values appear in the chart. Okay, so here, of course, it will not matter much. So let it be compact number as it is. Okay, so axis mode. So depending upon how multiple measures appear, okay, so we can choose over here. What I can do is maybe instead of count of rows, I can go for sum of amount. Okay, and yeah, I think that is fine as of now. Okay, let it be a single axis. And for x-axis, like this is how it shows up. As you can see here, we have the break line, the reference line. So for reference line, let's say I add okay. So this is the reference line, and maybe I can add a predictive line as well. So this is how it appears. And for y-axis left, I mean, we can add a reference line over here as well. So maybe I can add something like 15 million. Okay, and yeah, rest of all are same. So yeah, nothing much is here. As you can see here, like we just have, this time bar. Of course, the access mode comes into picture if you have multiple things. Here, I don't need that because, the minimum requirement is that you need just one from y-axis and one from time axis. That's it. Okay. So yeah, this is all. And more or less, it's the same thing which we walked previously. Here, nothing much is there on the time bar. Like this is how it appears as a time bar. Okay. And maybe one thing we can very quickly check is like if I go for the average of amount, how that appears in terms of like if I go for dual axis. Okay, so if I go for dual axis, this is how it will appear. And if I go for small multiple, so it appears as a bar basically. Okay, that is something we have to remember. Fine, I think as of now I can remove the average of amount. That's not needed. And yeah, this is the whole formatting option of time bar chart. Okay, so very quickly I can save it as time bar chart, and I will save it to my recipe data set, which is fine. And what I will do is I will duplicate maybe in the next one I will just very quickly create one for calendar heat map. So again, I will go for the same data set. I will quickly choose the calendar heat map. Okay. Now, of course, let me copy this whole thing over here as well. Now, what it is saying, to display the calendar heat map, you need at least one field for time periods, one field for color. Okay. So that's the thing you need. So one field for time period, one field for color. So that is fine. Time period, I can go for again the close date, year, month. Okay. And as you can see, this is how it looks like. Like you have the week parts also coming into picture over here. And this is how it looks like. Maybe again, I can go for the sum of amount. That's fine. And this is how the whole thing looks like for the calendar heat map. Fine. As you can see here, it's more like a representation of calendar. Although I've chosen the year month, just like I have done for everything. I have like all the time I've taken the time periods as year, month in all the cases, right? But as you can see here, like it's showing the January, February, March. Okay, in this way, it's showing something which was not showing earlier. Like up till here, you were showing getting, I mean, here also you were getting it like July, September, November, which is fine. But here, you are getting that cross on the top, and you're also getting the week's name as well, Sunday, Monday, all those steps. Okay, so that is how beautiful it's designed, and this is how the whole map looks like. And of course, you have that measurement over here where if it is on the lower number, you will get this light. Okay, so if it is zero, it's like a complete dark. Okay, it's like a complete dark gray. I feel this is the color. So if there are no values for that, it's a complete dark gray. But if the value is a bit less, okay, as you can see from 20,000 is starting, you will get a lighter shade of blue. Like for example, here if I see it's a lighter shade of blue. Okay, so if I hover over here, it's basically hovering to that whole November aspect, as you can see over here, right? And similarly, if I hover over here, it's basically showing for the all August aspect of 2031. Fine. So that's like deep over here. That's why the color is on the higher side. Okay, so the more deeper it is, the more color is on the high side. For example, from here I can completely gauge, like, of course, for 2024 I don't have any values, only for the fact that a bit of values is there, like that is also 50,000. So this is the light blue, but basically it will be much more lighter blue. Okay, in case the color is less than 20,000 as well. Like here also the color, I mean, it's 20,000. It's just 20,000. That's why the color is much lighter blue as well, right? Here also is the same thing. And if it is dark, I know it is zero. So yeah, that's how it is. Like you can actually gauge it in terms of weekdays. The weekdays are always there to make it look like a calendar heat map, make it look like a calendar. But main thing is if it's a dark day, you can actually know that this is the a period where it has not progressed at all, and if it's much lighter, that is the period where things count has somewhat has been less. And if it is darker, like there it has performed well, the sum amount is on the greater side. Okay, so that's the thing about this calendar heat map. Okay, now if I here you have this preserve level. If you don't want to preserve the level, you don't have to. Okay, or if you want to fit the level, this is how it comes out. So basically this is how the preserve level is. Okay, and if you go for none, it won't preserve. But yeah, I think that's fine. You can go for preserve level, which is fine. Okay, and again the same thing about the access and all. Nothing much is there, and legends and all are same. Okay, not an issue over there. And the conditional formatting is also more or less the same. Maybe you can go for sum of amount if you want. Okay, if you're going for gradient, like the coloring method, okay, so definitely you can go for gradient or bin method. So we will actually walk through this maybe in one of the sessions where I will explain you how the conditional formatting appears for the gradient and bins method. Okay, so gradient is more like on the lighter side, and then you go on the greater side, and bin is like you go for specific colors. Okay, that's how it actually pops up. You have some specific colors, and then you get some specific colors. Maybe in this, maybe we can actually walk through very quickly in one of this difference between gradient and bins coloring method in the conditional format. Okay? But as of now, I think this is what we can actually check this whole thing. Okay, so as you can see here, so let me very quickly save it as formatting options or calendar heat map chart. The spelling will be AR calendar. Okay, it's CALENDAR calendar, which is fine. So if we just very quickly walk through, so as you understood, when it comes to time bar, you need one fill for Y time axis and you need one fill for Y axis, okay, which is fine, okay, which is something which we have seen. It's more like a bar, nothing much is there. Whatever you do, it will always appear as a bar, okay. In the previous things we have seen that, we had that option where if we are choosing for two measures, we can go for line or dots, but here you don't have, as the name suggests, time bar, you will only get it for bar, even if you get for multiple measures. And here you have the reference line, predictive line, as well as you can suggest where the y-axis line you need. Okay, that's the thing about this one. And basically, when it comes to the heat, and other than that, as we already discussed, like these are all the same things which you saw earlier. So nothing much is there. You can have the predictive line, the reference line, and on the y-axis also you can have the same thing. Okay, that's what we did. And now if we go to the next section, the calendar heat map, okay, here, of course, if you see, I think here we don't have something called predictive line, that part, okay, the predictive line and reference line. So the predictive line and reference line are definitely not here, which is fine, but this is whole like a calendar heat map. As you can see, the name suggests that's how the whole part is all about. Okay, you can go for different color variation as well, the gradient method or beans method. So gradient method is like you will have a color range, like it will be a, let's say if it's a blue or a red, it's like from lighter blue to the deeper blue. And if it's been like you can have specific colors for specific things. And here actually you have that extra component where you get to see the Sunday, Monday, like the weekdays as well, something which you haven't seen yet in other parts of it, right? So that's how it's more like a calendar, and that's the way it is displayed. Here also you don't have much options, okay? It's just as it is the whole chart is, and you have to remember like here you need one field for time and one field for the color, of course, okay? So yeah, that's the thing about this one. So I hope you understood. So maybe in the next session we can have a complete revision of this date and time. So yeah, I have covered this time bar and the calendar heat map, and I hope you understood what are the formatting options which are available under both of them. And I think up till now you must be clear like under which scenarios we can use which of these charts. Okay, so in the next session we can actually quickly walk through of all the difference between which we have in all of these charts. And maybe what I can do is I can also go for this conditional formatting of the difference between these two coloring method. Okay, so for example, the gradient, if I want to choose it from light blue to red, for example, I can show you very quickly on that aspect maybe. So I can choose something like, as you can see here, I can choose something like pink, okay, which is fine. And for the high color, what I can do is I can choose something related to. So yeah, if you choose pink and if the darker color is on the blue, I personally feel that doesn't make much of a sense, or that doesn't aesthetically looks good. So maybe in this case, what I can do is I can go for this deep red. Okay. So in this way, it makes sense where on the lighter side you have something related to pink, and on the darker side you have something related to red. Okay. And same way you can do for yellow as well. So there they have done for blue, but yeah, I think the red seems fine to me as of now. Okay, I can go for this deep red also if required. Okay, yeah, you can go for this deep red. For example, if you want something on the yellow side, you can go for light yellow, and the deep yellow, the light green or deep green, and the light blue, the deep blue, which is already there by default. Okay, so and the light purple and the deep purple. Okay, in this way we can play around and go for the coloring part. So maybe I can go for this light purple, and maybe I can go for the deep purple. Okay, yeah, this is also seems fantastic. As you can see over here, like somewhere if it is a lighter color, you know what the value could be, and if it is a bit on the darker color in the middle one, the values could be something between the 20,000 to 86 million. That's what. And for the ones which we are not having color, that will anyhow even green. So that's about this gradient one. Okay, and yeah, in the next session we can actually check what comes up between bean. You can specifically choose the color of your joints. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I think I can save this as well very quickly. So that's all about the formatting options which we have another time bar chart and heat map chart. And yeah, let's meet very soon in our next video. Thank you.